Hey everybody, it is seed starting day. We are at week 9 of the seed starting challenge. So buckle up, it is time to go. So if you're brand new to my channel, my name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee in Zone 7B, and every single week for 11 weeks, we are starting seeds. And so you just walked onto the video of my seed starting challenge. I do a video every single week and I show you what seeds I'm starting, why I'm starting those seeds, and I also show you the progress from the seeds that you and I planted together just last week. So if you are new, please go ahead and put your name or say hello down in the chat so I can say hello back. I would love to know what state, what city, what country you are coming in from, and I am so glad that you are here. Also, I want to mention that I did a seed starting workshop last week. As part of that workshop, they received a digital guide as part of their registration that is has all the information you need on starting seeds. I am making the digital guide available. It is 80 pages. It's in full color. It goes through troubleshooting. It goes through FAQs. It goes through how to transplant. It talks about hardening off. It talks about what to do after germination. How do you care for your stuff? When to use a humidity dome, when not to use a humidity dome. Like, all the things are in this seed starting digital guide. You can grab it from my shop. I think it's 23 bucks. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's an instant digital download. So it'll be a great resource for you as you are doing your seed starting. We're also toying around with the idea of actually making it a physical binded workbook that you can bind, because some people like to lay it down, write notes and all that. But for now, it's digital. So if you like a digital type of vibe, go and grab that seed starting workbook that you can, and I'll put a picture of it right up here. And so let me talk a little bit about the seed starting challenge and why I do it. This is my 3rd year doing the seed starting challenge, and really, y'all, you're just getting a peek into what I already normally do anyway when it's time to start my seeds. And so I back myself out 12 weeks before my last frost date, and I start seeds every single week. Not because I'm trying to meter it out on purpose. I am, but there is a method to the madness. That's because you don't start all your seeds at one time, and also timing matters when you start your seeds. And so I have put together, I have a seed starting calculator in my shop on my website that you can download and buy if you are still confused about when to start certain seeds. That seed starting calculator is $6.95. Go to livingfoodsfarm.com and then go to digital guides, and you will see that resource there. So I created that, but before I created it for you guys to buy, I was already using that system that kind of just put in for me what I need to start each week. So I put in my last frost date, and it populates all of my dates for me, and that is what I go by to start my seeds, to make sure I'm starting them at the right time. And so since I was already starting my seeds week by week, I thought I would share with you on YouTube. You guys seem to love it, and so here we are, year 3, and we're still doing the exact same thing. Now, the reason why I call it a challenge is because I want you to do the exact same thing. It does not matter that if you're not in my zone, you can still take part of the challenge. The challenge is simply this: start your seeds every single week so that you are ready when it's time to plant your summer garden after your last frost date. So you may be ahead of me, you may be behind me, depending on when your last frost date is. But today, this is 9 weeks before my last frost date. And so I'm going to show you the things that are appropriate and okay to plant at 9 weeks. So when you hit your 9-week mark, you can be planting those things. If you've already passed your 9-week mark, then you can look back and say, did I start those things if I wanted to, so forth and so on. So that is the purpose of the challenge, and I invite you to join the challenge with me. So if this is your first time seeing this video, or you've been watching, you've been lurking, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do it, then go ahead and just put challenge down below in the comments. Put challenge down below. Now, there is, I have a seed starting playlist, and so if you missed week 11 and week 10, you can go back to the playlist and see what I started in week 11 and 10, and I'll give you a general overview as well. Normally, I start my seeds 12 weeks before my last frost date, but on the week 11 video, I kind of combined weeks 11 and 12. Now, today, I'm in the back of my house because normally I'm in the greenhouse, but it was easier for me to go ahead and shoot the video right outside my house. I have all the tools, all the supplies, and it's a pretty day outside today. So before we start into what we're going to plant for the 9-week mark, I always like try to give you a tip or something each week for you to be thinking about, to add to your seed starting knowledge. And so one of the things that I talked about last week that I want to briefly highlight this week is that there is a range of time when you can start your seeds. So if you look on your seed packets, it may say 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost date. And so that means you can plant it at 8 weeks, 9 weeks, or 10 weeks. It doesn't matter as long as you're within that range. And again, if you want to plant it on week 7, you can do that too, but it's giving you the optimal range. So you will see today that we're going to do some what I call double dipping. I'm going to plant a few things this week that I planted last week, and I'm going to explain to you why that is, but I'm well within, the time frame to do that. So don't get hung up on, oh my goodness, I didn't hit it at the 8-week mark if it's a 6 to 8 week crop. Hopefully that makes sense. So one of the things that I like to do is to show you the progress of the seeds that you and I started together just last week or the week before. So on week 11, we planted or started seeds. I think we started eucalyptus, lavender, thyme, and oregano, and it was one more that I'm forgetting now. And then last week we did a whole bunch of seeds and flowers that we started. We did coleus, we did snapdragon, we did petunias, we did a couple of other things. And so let me show you some of the results of what we've done over the last 2 weeks. I'll start with the tray that I have out here because we're going to actually fill up that tray as one of the first things we're going to do today. But let me show you what I have. So we started a whole tray last week of 72, and then this was the overflow tray. So we still had more than 72, so I had to start another tray. And you can see here it's my left, so it may be showing up on your right, but all of that is lettuce. We have literally 18 things of lettuce, perfect germination. Let me take one out. You can see here, we just planted this lettuce together, literally, y'all, at the time of this video, about 5 days, 5 days ago. This lettuce germinated in 3 days, and that is typical for lettuce. Lettuce goes really fast. This is actually a new variety that I've never done before, and a new brand. These lettuce seeds are from Vego Garden. They sent me some complimentary seeds in one of my packages, and so I had them, and so I just decided to do them. So this is a Little Gem lettuce, and then I have Butter Crunch, and then I also have one called Salad Bowl. But look at that, y'all, perfect germination. 18 things of lettuce just like that. You cannot beat starting your own seeds, because I can go to the store and get a head of lettuce, but when I have my seeds, I'll have lettuce after lettuce after lettuce because I can cut and come again. And so lettuce is one of those things. It is a cool season crop, not necessarily a summer crop, but that's one of the things that you can be starting right now. So if you've missed the window, you still have time to start your lettuce. Lettuce is going to, when it gets warm outside or when it gets hot, is going to tend to bolt. And so it is a cool season crop, spring crop, fall crop, those types of things. So definitely plant you some lettuce. It's a great addition for your green stalks. You see my green stalks back there looking like they ready. I'm not going to say they're looking sad because they look. We're going to get to the green stalks. They're going to shine come this spring and summer. But right now, there's nothing in there, I think, but some kale, and that's about it. But you can see my green stalks behind me. I love to grow lettuce in the green stalks. It's a perfect way to have your greens, and especially if you have your green stalks close to your house, you can just come out, reach, and grab you some lettuce and go on about your way. So our lettuce has done well. We also did some snapdragons. Those have not germinated yet, and snapdragons take anywhere from 14 to 21 days to germinate, so I'm not surprised that they haven't germinated. And then the whole other tray that we did last week, there has not been any germination as of yet. And again, when I'm recording this video, I'm kind of like 5 days instead of the typical 7 days, just because I had to work within my schedule. And so they haven't germinated yet, but I'm not concerned. I won't get concerned until it's like at 14 days, because all of those things like the coleus, the petunias, they can take a while to germinate. And then I will show you the seeds that we did 2 weeks ago, which was at our 11-week mark. And I'll insert that footage right here. So this is the tray from 2 weeks ago. So our 11-week planting. Up at the top is lavender, about 3 out of 6. The second row is dill, and then right here is oregano. We finally have 2 oregano out of the 6. Then back up at the top, we have thyme that has not germinated at all. In the middle, we have orange thyme that has done really well. All 6 have germinated. And now we move into the eucalyptus, and you can see we have 4 out of the 6 cell that have germinated. Remember, last week we did not have any eucalyptus, so that has popped up. And then up at the top is another eucalyptus, which is the book leaf mallee, 3 out of 6 that popped up within the last few days. And then right here is the silver dollar eucalyptus, and only 1 out of the 6 have germinated so far. But look at our lavender. Our lavender is doing good. We have perfect germination in that block as well as in that block right there. And then this third block is also lavender, but there is no germination. That is the elegance variety. And I think that, yeah, I think those seeds are older. Then this is our deal right here at the bottom. So you can see overall, we definitely have more germination than we did on last week when I showed you this at a week old. So we're 2 weeks in, we have more germination. And remember, specifically for eucalyptus, it can take 21 days. Okay, so you can see that there are some things that germinated this past week that had not germinated the first week. And so I show you guys the progress so that you can see exactly the pace of how my things are going and so that you don't get discouraged, right? One of the things, and maybe we'll talk about this in next week's video, is about germination rates and germination pace. 2 different things. And so it's very important that you understand the germination rate that's on the seed packet that's telling you the viability or how likely it is to germinate. And then germination, what I call germination pace, is how long does it take something to germinate. And this is what I will just leave here today, is that all seeds have a different germination pace. All seeds don't germinate in 3 days like lettuce. And so if you're looking and saying, oh, my lettuce germinated, but my parsley hasn't, my thyme hasn't, oh my goodness, those seeds are bad, I'm going to throw them out, or I'm going to restart. You can restart, but keep in mind that everything does not germinate at the same pace. And so I'll talk more about that in next week's video as the tip. But let's get on to the business of week number 9, situation number 9. We are about to start our seeds for week 9. So let's talk about what we're starting on this week. And one other thing before I go to week 9, anything that I started on weeks 10 and week 11, if you have not started it, and you're right in my zone or right at this week, you can still go ahead and start it. Don't feel like you missed the boat. Honey, get on the boat. Get on the boat, okay? So let's get to it. Let me show you what I am going to be starting this week. So one of the things, I'm doing a couple of things that I've already done, okay? And let me tell you why. So I'm going to do another thing of petunias. The petunias that I did last week were big, large, showy type of petunias that I got from Baker Creek. And one packet only did, I think, like 1 6-cell tray. But I need more petunias than that. Maybe it did 2. I don't remember. But I bought some more from the Dollar Tree. And these are the ones that I actually did last year. And so they germinated well. They grew well. And so I'm going to do another pack of petunias. And that's, again, just so that I have enough. I'm going to do more thyme. So I did my thyme 2 weeks ago. And so thyme can take up to 14 days. And at this point, I only see 1 little thyme out of the 6 that I've sown. Now, I also did orange yellow thyme, which is an orange thyme. It is still medicinal, but it has like an orange aroma and flavor, so to speak. All of that is perfect. Close to perfect germination. So I do have thyme, but it's the orange thyme, and so I want some more common thyme. And so that's what this is, just a regular old thyme. And so because I have not seen germination in 14 days, except very little, it could still pop up, but I want to just go ahead and sow some more. So that's, again, the reason why I'm doing more. I have waited the time, and now I see the germination is very slow, if existent. And so I want to make sure that I have some regular thyme, because last year I did not have enough thyme. I ran out. I had lemon thyme, and I had all of the flavored specialty thymes, but just traditional old-fashioned thyme I did not have enough of. So I want to make sure that I have plenty this year. So I'm going to do more of that. Another repeat is eucalyptus. I am going to do more eucalyptus because I feel like I don't have enough. And you saw in the first video, I have decent germination. Now, eucalyptus can take 14 to 21 days. So I still have a week for it to pop up and show itself strong, right? But I still want more eucalyptus, not necessarily for me, because I have 2 big eucalyptus plants growing in my high tunnel, and they provide me with plenty of eucalyptus, like plenty. I don't run out of eucalyptus. at all. But eucalyptus was a great seller for me last year when it comes to plant starts. And so I want to make sure that I have enough to sell just because I can make more money. Okay. Who don't want to make more money? So I am doing a small leaf gum eucalyptus. I'll probably keep a few of these because these don't grow as big as mine do. They're supposed to be a little bit or a lot smaller. So I'm going to do more eucalyptus. And the germination rate on here is 85%. And the germination rate on the eucalyptus that I sold 2 weeks ago was around 80s. And typically, for whatever reason, and I do know the reason, eucalyptus is hard to grow from seed, or harder to grow from seed. I have never really seen a germination rate on eucalyptus that's 90% or above. It's usually in the 80s, which means you have to sow more seeds. You have to be patient, and you kind of have to know what you're doing. And we know what to do. We know what to do. So again, that's why I'm going to do more eucalyptus. So those are the 3 repeats: eucalyptus, thyme, and petunias. Okay. So I've already done them, but I'm going to do more. Next, here's some other things that I'm going to start today. I have 4 more new things that I'm going to start. I'm going to start rosemary today. And rosemary, I'm a little behind because typically rosemary, rosemary is hard to grow from seed. Last year was my first time doing it. I think I did 6, and I got 1 little teeny tiny rosemary. That was it. And it can take up to 21 days. So it takes a while. So you typically want to start your rosemary 12 weeks before your last frost date. Well, y'all, I'm 9 weeks before my last frost date, but that's okay because rosemary in my area is a perennial, right? I have rosemary in my tunnel that lasted all winter long. It's going to grow. So I have 2 main rosemary plants. And so those 2 really do supply enough rosemary for me in terms of culinary purposes and some medicinally, but I want more because I got a little project that I'm thinking about doing in 2026, and I'm going to need some rosemary. So I'm going to try to grow it myself again and see if we have better success. Now, the germination rate on here is 87%. So again, not horrible, but not great either. You know, I like 95, 98%, but it's 87%. It's 50 seeds in here. We're going to give it another try and see if we can get some rosemary. Okay. But this is another example how ideally 12 weeks before, but it doesn't matter that I'm doing it at 9 weeks. I don't have anything but time. And again, it's a perennial in my area. So it doesn't matter that it may be a little bit behind and not ready to go out right when the frost ends. It doesn't matter. Okay. So that's what I want you to be thinking about is don't get so hung up and beat yourself up on, I missed the date, I'm behind. Just jump in where you fit in when you can. Okay. So we're doing rosemary. This is from Urban Farmer. So I made another seed order this week from Urban Farmer. So we got a little, yeah. That's all you need to know is I ordered some more seeds. That's all you need to know. Okay. So then we're going to do, I haven't done this one in a few years and I have never been successful. And that is status. And these seeds are, I got on here 125. But I think these seeds are older than that. These seeds were in one of my containers. The package had torn. They were just kind of like had spilled out of the package. So I just put them in one of these brown envelopes and labeled it. We're going to try it. That's the only status that I have. I haven't bought it anymore because I have not been successful with status. But I heard that it dries beautifully. And so I want to kind of use it in a flower arrangement and also dried. And so we're going to try it again. If you have any tips on status, let me know. It's a beautiful flower. So we're going to try that. We're also going to try yarrow. Yarrow, I have not been successful with. So again, you see the theme, but that's okay. I keep showing up and I haven't tried in a couple of years. So we're going to see if maybe I will have success this time. But yarrow is, again, it's a great medicinal flower, but it's also beautiful. And it also, I heard, dries well. And as well, it dries well. And so I think you can put it in your freeze dryer or just let it dry. Air dry, and then it'll make a pretty, like, you can put it in wreaths and stuff like that. But I think this is pretty. Flower burst fruit bowl. And then I also have a Colorado blend. I think that's pretty. And then I have one from Johnny's. Now, this is from like 2022, but the germination rate was 98%. So let's go forth and conquer. The rest of these are new seeds. So we'll try that. And then last but not least, lemon balm. So you can start lemon balm at 9 weeks before. I cannot say enough great things about lemon balm. And last year was not a great lemon balm year for me. Like, we ran out of lemon balm like at the very, very end. And you guys know I use lemon balm. We sell a lemon balm salve. Lemon balm can be medicinal, so it is great for digestion. If you have an upset tummy, you can drink it as a tea. But also it is great for any type of skin irritation. Y'all, I use that lemon balm whenever something is popping up on my skin, bam, 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 and it knocks it out. It's also especially good if you're prone to get cold sores. Like, you need some lemon balm in your life, in your garden. And so definitely, if you have some seeds, go get you some seeds, try some lemon balm. This is the time in the growing season that you can start the seeds. So we have, and again, this germination rate is not good, y'all, 80%. Now, last year, my lemon balm, the seeds that I started did well. What happened is I sold a ton of lemon balm plants. They were beautiful. And I only kept one for me because I had another lemon balm plant that was big and glorious and all that. And for whatever reason, it did not grow as well last year. So I learned a lesson. I need more lemon balm and me to make sure that I'm taken care of first. So we will do that. I only have, let's see. Yeah, I just have just that one. So that's what we're starting this week, y'all. Lemon balm, yarrow, statice, rosemary, thyme, petunia, eucalyptus. So think about, if you like any of those things, you can be starting those things now. Maybe you like the things that we started at weeks 10 and 11 and you haven't done that. You can start those things now. Another flower that you can start at week 9 is also echinacea. I debated. I brought it out here, took it back. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to start echinacea. Just because, I mean, it grows, it's a pretty flower, and then it dies. And then last year I did have one come back. I was growing it for medicinal purposes, but from what I read and research, you don't get the medicinal purposes until it's like 2 or 3 years in the ground and it comes from the root. But I can't seem to keep the root. So I don't know. I'm not starting this year, unless y'all convince me that I should. So, but that's another one that you can be starting this week on week 9. So I feel like week 9 is it can be like a catch up, right? So catch up on stuff that you haven't started, or adding in some new things, or getting a jump on some other stuff. So that's what we're doing. So we got our tray that we had already used last year. My soil is already in here from last week. I've already pre-moistened the soil. So we're just gonna get to the business. I'm gonna make my labels, sow my seeds, and y'all, just like that, we'll have another week in the book. So let's get to it. Okay, y'all, just like that, we just started our 9-week seeds. And so I just kept with this tray right here. And so I didn't have to go do another tray. And I wanted to complete this tray. So right now I have 3 trays in my house, one for week 11, week 10, and now this is a little bit of 10 and mostly 9. So I did a 6 thing of petunias. I did a 6 thing of rosemary, 6-pack of eucalyptus, 6-pack of statice, 6-pack of thyme, 6-pack of yarrow, and then I did 12 lemon balm. And so we'll see how these go, but I'll probably do some more yarrow. Next week I had more seeds than I thought, and so we'll see how that works out. But I didn't want to start another tray that I couldn't fill up, and so that's why I kind of kept with this, and we'll see how this goes, and I'll give you an update when there's another update to give in the following week's video. But y'all, it doesn't take long, right? And one of the things that helps me is that, y'all, I have a plan. So if you didn't see my video about how I organize my seeds and how I get prepared for this 12-week seed starting challenge, I will pop that up here. You need to go take a look at that, because literally, y'all, all I had to do was I went to where my seeds are. I have all of my seeds labeled and separated by the weeks. So I went and I grabbed week 9 stack, right? That's all I did. And then I grew, I picked up the ones that I wanted to do that was a repeat from last week. They were on the table under week 10. So it was like boom, boom, boom. I didn't have to think about it at all. My tray was already filled. The most of the time it took was for me to do this video, but it doesn't take long, especially if you have a plan. So y'all, I hope that your seed starting challenge is going well. I hope that you're seeing success with your seed starting. But y'all, Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that things are going well. If you have not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Remember, y'all, this is all a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.